Greetings, you marrow chompers. I hope you're doing well. My name is Graham, and welcome to the Crack-A-Pack here at LRRMTG. Please consider subscribing to the channel. I didn't call you putrid leeches, which I could have done. So, 3 cheers for my restraint. This was given to us by Sean, or Corflux in chat, and it's a pack of Alara Reborn. This was, there was a whole set, or I mean, bunch of block, as they called them in those days, where Alara had these 5 shards of Alara, and then there was a big problem, we'll call it conflux. We'll say it's a conflux. And then Alara got better, and everything was gold, which is to say, every card in this set was gold, which was a really cool concept. I wasn't playing at the time. I don't know how it was received. Maybe it was a terrible idea, but it's neat to look at. So we've got that going for us, which I guess is nice. First up, Mistvein Border Post. 1 blue black for an artifact. You may pay 1 and return a basic land you control to its owner's hand rather than pay Mistvein Border Post's mana cost. It comes into play tapped and taps for blue or black. Couple things I like about these. 1, the art, because it was a border post, it tended to be like this obelisk with one thing on one side and one thing on another side. And that's really obvious here from this art, including the very like geometric clouds from some of the basic lands, which I love. 2, I don't see these get played anymore, but when I started playing Magic, these were fairly fresh, and so these came up in Commander a lot, because it's just cool fixing, and you could put it, on turn 2, you could tap your basic that you played on turn 1, because none of us had Sol Rings, and bounce that and play this as a cheaper land drop. I mean, I don't think it was great. I'm just saying, I don't know. Are these bad? Maybe these are bad. It didn't seem that bad at the time. I don't know, they look neat. I like them. Glass Dust Hulk. 3 white blue for a 3/4 golem. Whenever another artifact comes into play under your control, Glass Dust Hulk gets +1/+1 until end of turn and is unblockable this turn. Hoo-wee! That's a great way to punch somebody repeatedly. And it has cycling for blue or white. So you can just pitch it to draw a card. Because blue-white had a lot of artifacts, and you could do a lot of damage with that. I kind of like Glass Dust Hulk. I think this was a powerful set, if I recall correctly. I guess the challenge was fixing. Anyway, Bant Sureblade is, okay, there's a cycle of blades. They all have the name of one of the shards, and then X Blade, where X is a different thing. In this case, X equals Sure. And the casting costs were the same in that it was 1 normal pip and 1 hybrid pip. So in this case, it's blue or green and white for a 2/1 human soldier. As long as you control another multicolored permanent, and they all were, Bant Sureblade gets +1/+1 and has first strike. So it's a 3/2 first strike for 2 most of the time. That's very strong, if you can make that all work. I guess the challenge was the way that this was drafted at the time. You would have drafted the block. Drafting this one first or third? I don't remember. There were some switch ups around at the time. I never drafted this block because I didn't play Magic. Oh, but Terminate's good and has always been good and will be good in the future. It's black, red, instant, destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. Yeah, everybody loves Terminate. Just make the thing go away. What if it has regenerate? No, you can't. Why? Well, I say so. No. You stop regenerating your creatures. Leonin Ermagerd. Let me try that again. Leonin Armor Guard is 2 green, white for a 3/3 cat soldier. When Leonin Armor Guard comes into play, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. This is a trope we've seen many times. It's the 3/3 for 4 that buffs all your creatures for a turn. Why not? This was in the first Commander deck I ever built, which was just, I went on Gatherer, because Scryfall wasn't around, and I searched for everything that was green and white grabbed a bunch of stuff that looked neat and threw it into a pile. That deck is still not bad. Ceradon Yearling is also not bad. It's red, white for a 2/2 beast with vigilance and haste. Wow, what an aggressive card. I like that a lot. Cathari Bomber is 1 black red for a 2/2 bird shaman, which is different from a bird wizard. It's got flying. And then when Cathari Bomber deals combat damage to a player, put 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens into play and sacrifice Cathari Bomber. So it's 3 mana, you get it down, it's just a 2/2. Then on your next turn, you attack with it, it hits for 2, and then goes away and replaces itself with 2 1/1 goblins. But also, it has Unearth for 3 black-red, which is return it from your graveyard to play and it gains haste, and then you sacrifice it at the end of turn anyway. So then you can recycle it later and get more 1/1s. I guess it's okay. I guess the joke, the trick here is Jund had an ability where you could sacrifice creatures. When a creature entered play, you could sacrifice other creatures and then make that creature bigger, so maybe that's what you use the goblins for. Maybe there was a mass pump spell. I don't know. It's an interesting card, certainly. I'm curious how it worked out. Vectis Dominator. 1 white-black for a 0/2 artifact creature human wizard. Tap target creature unless its opponent pays 2 life. At some point, they have to stop paying the life, right? Ooh. I want to build a commander deck. Speaking of commander, I want to build a deck around, not around this, but around the concept of asking someone if they pay the 2. Usually it's mana, but sometimes it can be life. I like that a lot. Brain Bite. I don't like that a lot. That is a truly disquieting piece of artwork. 2 blue-black for a sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand, you choose a card from it, that player discards that card, draw a card. 4 mana is awfully expensive for this combination of abilities. I guess what you're paying for is the convenience of having them all on one portable card. Yeah, it's all right. Trace of Abundance, but just a trace. Red or white and green. So Boros Hybrid and green for a land enchantment. The enchanted land has Shroud, which happily for everyone, they don't print anymore. It says it can't be the target of spells or abilities from anyone, not even you. Nobody. No touchy the land. Whenever the enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds 1 mana of any color to their mana pool. In addition to the mana the land already produces, it says in reminder text. So sure, it's probably fine. Your land has Shroud. That's so odd. All right. Playtest name the card. Rolling in here. It's Giant Ambush Beetle. They really, no disrespect to the hardworking creative text writers from 2009, but no one can come up with anything better than Giant Ambush Beetle. Sometimes you just explain what it is. You know, sometimes that's enough. Sometimes it's Friday afternoon. 3 mana, a black or a green, and a red for a 4/3 insect with haste. I would expect flash for an ambush beetle, but still with haste. When Giant Ambush Beetle comes into play, you may have target creature block it this turn, if able. So you get to go, haha, you have to block me, the beetle attacks you, and then that thing can't block other things, and hopefully you're getting more than just a trade out of it, because this thing only has 3 toughness. Creative text redemption on this card is the flavor text. It waits with absolute stillness. One might think it a statue if it weren't occasionally seen chewing on its victims. That's good. I like that. Ooh, Lore Scale Coatl. 1 green, blue for a 2/2 snake. Whenever you draw a card, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Lore Scale Coatl. Everyone loves Lore Scale. All my homies love Lore Scale Coatl. It's just it's a good snake. It's a very good snake. Flurry of Wings. Green, white, blue for an instant. That's a very taxing mana cost. Put X 1/1 white bird soldier creature tokens with flying into play, where X is the number of attacking creatures. Boy, that has a very high potential upside but I feel like the floor is way too low. How many games of Limited, I'm talking from a Limited perspective here, how many games of Limited have more than 2 creatures attacking on a given attack step? Like usually it's like 1 or 2 creatures at most. And you could do it on your turn. You could attack them with a bunch of creatures and then just also make a bunch of birds, but at that point you're already attacking them with a bunch of creatures. I don't know. This seems like it could be very powerful and frequently isn't. And next we have the token. What an odd order for that. It goes uncommon, 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 token. Devour was the mechanic I was thinking of because we have a token with Devour. That's the one. It's a 1/1 dragon with flying and Devour 2. Cool. And then a swamp, and then the rare. Who collated this pack? Identity Crisis. 2 white, white, black, black sorcery. Exile all cards in target player's hand and graveyard. Or as it's written on the card, remove all cards in target player's hand and graveyard from the game. But that's now just called exile. Exile all cards from their hand and graveyard from the game for 6 mana. Is that even good? To join our ranks, one must be pure. To be pure, one must be blessed by Ethereum. To be blessed, one must forget oneself. Oh, well, maybe I don't want to join your silly ranks. We only got 1 piece of fixing out of this whole thing. Because, oh wait, no, does Trace of Abundance make any mana? Any color. Okay, so we got Trace of Abundance and the Mistvein Border Post are the only things that sort of fix. I don't know how highly you're supposed to take fixing. I guess the pick, in air quotes, is just Terminate. But I want to take, like, Lore Scale Coatl. I don't think Identity Crisis is very good for 6 mana. I'm so wary of Flurry of Wings. This is all over the map. Ordinarily, I think I have reasonable card evaluation skills, but I can look at these in a vacuum and tell what's decent or not, but I have no idea what this draft format was like. So I'm just going to say that I'll take Terminate because I feel like that's pretty defensible that not too many people in the comments can get mad at me about. But feel free to explain what you would take and why. That's what we call a call to action. I'm sorry. Terminate's worth almost $1. Whole pack's over $3. So, you know, that's neat at least. Is the token worth anything? It's got to be one of those uncommon tokens, surely. Ah, I thought so. So the swamp, which I forgot to mention, is some of the art from Chippy, which is great, and that's worth 50 cents by itself. But our token is worth almost $2.50. The red-green 1/1 flying Devour 2 dragon token is worth more than any individual card in this pack, and in fact worth the majority of the value of this pack. So, hey, sometimes some crimes go slipping. Why am I singing the Chippendales Rescue Rangers theme song? I can't answer these questions, and I doubt you can either. And if you can, keep it to yourself. Thanks, everybody, for joining me today on Crack-A-Pack. And thanks to Sean for giving us this pack. Very much appreciated. If you want to send us a pack, as Sean did, you can do so to the address on your screen, but don't feel obliged. As you can tell, we got a pretty full drawer. And this show and everything we do is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. I have been Graham. James has been over there running tech. Matt edits these. Heather gets them online. And you all participate also by watching, which is arguably one of the most important parts. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Talk to you next time. Bye.